Many people are weary of committing to a job that requires official working hours, with fixed salary and fixed hours, so they searched for new ideas for self-employment and areas where they could work freely. They seek to create their own business that frees them from the constraints of a fixed job, and this type of work is called self-employment. It is a job in which a person is a manager of himself and is not governed by office hours or certain working hours. All he needs is a computer that works through his home and delivers what he has accomplished via the internet. One of the advantages of self-employment is that the material return is large, especially if the person chooses an appropriate field for his abilities and capabilities. In addition to being free from office obligations and routine restrictions, and the freedom to change the work environment to avoid boredom, as the person has the freedom to choose a place and time. Parallel to the positives we mentioned, it is also characterized by negatives that might overburden the project owner, such as the difficulty in organizing time and not taking advantage of holidays privileges and bearing the costs of work at his own expense. In order to avoid the greatest possible negative aspects of self-employment, you must stay away from certain areas. May lead to your loss and waste your effort without a financial return. We mention 3 of them. 1. Fill out the questionnaires. Since the advent of the internet, work has become available for every person who owns a computer of his own who can do his work and complete it from his home. It is also facilitated by the process of self-marketing of individuals or their products, and from the business that you should avoid when seeing your ads. Advertisements are filling out questionnaires with an imaginary name or making positive or negative assessments of certain products to harm or improve their sales. This act, which is considered immoral and illegal, also kills creativity and liveliness, in addition to being a work with a limited ceiling. It works to waste time for very small amounts not to reach $50. Therefore, any other job is much better than it because it will not improve your skills or gain you a new skill. 2. One of the areas of self-employment, download platforms and links shortening sites. There are many platforms for downloading and uploading files or shortening links flooded with malicious and pornographic ads and these default sites. It forces the user to wait a certain period of time to see the ad content. There are sites that allow the user to upload files and shorten links, then share the link. Thus, the user was given a percentage of the revenue to encourage him, since the sites generate money from visits. On the whole, between these sites there are some that allow users to shorten links or upload files, then share the link, and the fact that the sites make money from the visits, the user is given a percentage of the revenue to encourage him. It may seem easy, especially if you are a manager of large communication pages, or you can access many groups. But the reality is completely different because the popularity of defense sites in exchange for default or download resulted in misleading use of them in most of them. Therefore, these sites are banned from sharing their links on social media platforms. 3. Pay-to-work locations. Many websites across the internet offer multiple job opportunities, part of which is fraudulent. Beginners should be self-employed, but not necessarily all of these sites are necessarily fraudulent. The downside is that the sites do not make any guarantees about the material return for the service the person provides, or about the number of customers, and at the same time, it costs the person who wants to work with it a large amount that may reach $100 a month. Therefore, those wishing to work should market themselves on their own communication platforms, or search for job opportunities on the most common freelance sites in order to avoid fraud.